Konami's newest OCG set, Limit Over Collection, The Rivals, is shaping up to be the same as its counterpart, The Heroes, one of the best sets of 2026 thus far in 2026. And it's only gonna get even more crazier from here because, again, as I stated in yesterday's video, there are still a lot of cards that have yet to be revealed, and I will be revealing them in the coming week. So be sure to get ready for those videos. But for today, there is a brand new Chaos monster that has just been added to the rival set, and this could potentially break Chaos decks and make them meta. Like 100%, this could make Chaos decks meta in 2026. Probably one of the strongest Chaos monsters we've seen thus far since this. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Again, this card is one of the strongest cards in GOAT format, and I know because this is my GOAT deck, and if you guys saw that deck profile, it was interesting to say the very least. But I did throw in some new additions, so I have obviously a second Kaiku. I also threw in as well Cyberjar, which it's like okay, but I'm gonna be giving this deck a complete I'm gonna be giving this deck a complete makeover, including a foil upgrade Snatch Steal from Dark Beginning 1. Yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of a crazy foiling, but again, I will be giving this deck a complete upgrade. Definitely gonna be pulling some cards out. Gonna be putting some cards in. Hopefully I can get the cards that I need over at Bear Cave CCG this coming Sunday. Shout outs to them for the hospitality. If you guys saw my IG story from this past Sunday, you guys already know the cards I picked up, which include Master of Chaos, pre-my Lordy Load for my Blue Eyes deck, that and a few others. So if you haven't seen them, you missed out. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But anyway, this new monster definitely going to be making Chaos decks very busted. And let's talk about it. So the name of the card is Chaos and Ruler of the Beginning and the End. Which, I'm looking at this artwork, and I can easily tell that this card is going to be nasty. It is going to be one of the most busted monsters for the Chaos strategy in history. It is going to be nasty. But what is it? Well, it is a 10-star light warrior with 3,500 attack, 2,000 defense. And again, it's a 10-star, so definitely going to be. It's definitely going to be interesting. You can use it to go into a rank 10, which is funny. And pretty much just like BLS, just like Chaos Emperor, just like Chaos Sork, cannot be normal summon said, must be special summon from your hand by banishing a light. This time, normally it would just be a simple light and a dark, but this card requires you to banish a light warrior and a dark fiend, from your grave. And the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, this card's special summon cannot be negated. So you can't use cards like Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning. You can't use any of the solemn counter traps. You can't use any form of monster removal. Once it's on the field, your opponent basically has no choice but to scoop, especially with its two effects. The second effect reads, Neither player can activate cards or effects when this card is special summoned. Third effect reads, if you control this card summoned its own... if you control this card summoned its own way, you can pay 1,000. You can pay 1,000. Banish all cards your opponent controls and in their grave, then inflict 500 damage to them for each card banished by this effect. Okay, think about this. Your opponent is playing, I'll say, Yummy. Let's just say that. They commit to their board, and they end up having 6,000 life points. Just for, just paying life points to do X thing. Let's say that. They pass their turn, you draw, and you have exactly what you need to bring that card out. You pull off your plays, you foolish some cards, you send cards from your hand to your grave, you summon out bodies, you do this, you do that. Your opponent negates everything. Now you have exactly lethal. You banish a light warrior, you banish a dark fiend, you summon that guy out. You remove every single card that is on their field and in their grave. They get dealt 500 points of damage. Because that your opponent would only have 6,000. This card is basically lethal. Because if your opponent has, let's say they have more than 10 cards. Let's say they have 15 cards on let's say they have, we'll say 20 cards all together on the field and in their graveyard. If you were to use this card's effect, you literally get to deal them over 7,000 points of damage, which would literally be lethal. Think about that. And again, guys, the idea is if you open with Dark Ruler No More and you use Dark Ruler No More, you've basically forced your opponent to waste every single one of the resources to stop Dark Ruler No More, and now you just go light. You can go Feather Duster to wipe out their back row. You summon out that guy, and now your opponent doesn't have anything whatsoever to summon. They've got nothing else to do but to take the effect damage. Think about that. In a format like GOAT format, if that card was used in GOAT format, you can bet your ass that card would automatically be banned the moment it got released to the public. Think about that. It would basically be similar to Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End, which was the sole reason why we even have a forbidden list in the first place. As of now, in 2026, cards like Pot of Greed, cards like Fiber Jar, and cards like Confiscation, Metamorphosis, all these cards that are played in GOAT format, they're all banned, and there's a reason for it. It's because they are abusable to the point of no return. In GOAT format, this card would be nasty. 100%, this card would be so broken. Konami would just have no choice but to auto ban it, which is insane. This card is definitely going to make Chaos decks in 2026, absolutely fucking busted. I honestly can't wait to see what kind of like what kind of deck we could be seen with that one card, because again, you have to banish a light warrior and a dark fiend. So theoretically speaking, there aren't a whole lot of light warrior decks in the format, but there are quite a few dark fiend decks out there in the format as well. And one of the most notable dark fiend decks is obviously Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm thinking like Yu-Gi-Oh mixing with like some sort of like a weird light warrior package. Throw that card into the deck, and you have yourself a very powerful. You have yourself a pretty decent deck. Because think about this, right? Phantom of Yu-Gi-Oh plus that card, and like we'll say Underworld Goddess. That's kind of cracked. That's kind of a cracked deck, if you ask me. But honestly, I can't wait to see what kind of decks people will conjure up with that card, because it's gonna be nasty. It is going to be very interesting, to say the very least. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.